Good morning, everybody. Oh, I must be mad. It's Christmas Eve as I'm filming this. It's really just going to be a quick video just to update you on the water tank, which was a video I did a few weeks ago now, where the lagging was coming undone. Found out since through people in the comments that there is an overflow, which we knew about, where I said it fills the insulation up with water and drains out the bottom. Stupid idea, but there have been people who have put an overflow pipe on to divert that, so I'm going to tackle that this morning. And also the water itself, where the tank's lagged, the biggest issue, which I didn't even notice, Brains Heather noticed, they can lag the tank all they like, but the water pipe out of the tank to the drain tap isn't lagged. So in effect that can freeze. So I'm going to put a bit of lagging around that. I'm not going to bother with the waste pipe because I usually leave a bucket there so it's always running and in theory shouldn't freeze. And also I'll just update you on the reversing sensors. Someone's told me a better way to route the wires, which I will do, but not today. It's not a massive urgent job, but if you're going to do that job, route the wires differently than I did. Anyway, catch you in a minute. So as always, safety first. I know I keep saying this. Wheel is chocked, it's in gear, handbrake is on, it's on the ramps, it's not going to squish me. Okay, right, so if you remember from the last video I did on the water tanks, where I replaced all the tape on this and sealed the wires, the issue is when you fill up with cold water, the default overflow fills this jacket up and it runs out of this little slit in the bottom. That's basically it. What it is, hopefully you can see up there. Try and get that torch up there. Next to the fill, where my finger is there, there's a little black pipe hole. That is your overflow. I hope you can see that. There's an overflow there. Now, obviously, when that overflows, it's obviously going to run into this jacketing. So we're going to put an elbow on there and just divert a pipe down so it can't, is the thought anyway. And then secondary to that, obviously your tank's all insulated, but this isn't. So in theory, if this tank has got water in it, then this line is live, isn't it? Because the tap at the end is your stop. So there's a chance, slight chance, but there's a chance that could freeze. So I'm going to lag that. Like I say, I'm not going to bother with the waste, partly because the bore is a lot wider, but also because I always leave the waste tap open into a bucket, as I've said, and therefore it's a minimal chance of freezing, but there's obviously a larger chance of freezing a full tank of cold water. So that's it for the moment. Right, so into the plumbing drawer. Everybody's got one of them, right? What I'm hoping is that 15mm will fit, because I don't think that 8mm will. If this doesn't fit, it's a change of plan, but we'll have a look. Right, can you see that now? So that elbow is on, it's a 15mm, just push fit, and I get a piece of pipe just long enough to clear the bottom of the tank. Should be good. There we go, cut a length of that, push fit plastic pipe, Bob's your auntie. Well, transvestite Bobbies. How's that then? Hopefully you can see that. Literally just hanging at the bottom of the tank. I may just put a clip around that just to hold it, we'll see. But yeah, and for those people saying, what if spiders crawl up there? Well, they could still crawl in the original hole, so I don't know. But fingers crossed that should help stop the tank filling with water. Well, not the tank, the tank liner. Alright, that's done. As I say, just stops it moving about. Yeah, just put a little cable tie on it. Happy days. So that's that part done. I'm now going to just insulate this somehow. Right, so this is what I'm going to use to lag the pipe with. You can obviously use that normal pipe foam. It's exactly the same stuff, it's just the profile's different. and the only reason I'm using this is because it was free. But I figure the shape of it, I can actually bend it round, cable tie it together, and if any water or stuff does get in, it can drain out rather than a tight thing round it. Who knows, it could be pointless, but that's what I'm going to use. Righty ho, has it helped? Who knows. Does it look gash? Possibly, but it can't do any harm, can it? You know, it certainly protected the pipe a bit more. You can't really do anything with the knuckle there, and it may be completely pointless, but it's not exactly adding to the weight, and it makes me feel better anyway. So there you go, that was that. Right, so as a little update to the parking sensors thing, I was told by someone in the comments, when the bumper's off here, you'll see behind, if you refer back to the video, there's a little square grommet which you can pull out, and then that will give you access up to the rear quarter there, to the bottom of the lights, so that you can go under this metal and straight through. All you need is one of them flexible sticks to feed the thing through and pull the wires through. So I may revisit that, like I've said, in a later video, but for now I think it's perfectly safe under there. If you remember watching the video, I didn't like that fact, but I didn't really investigate it thoroughly enough. I should have perhaps had a look at that, because obviously if they'd had factory sensors, they wouldn't have done what I did. But yeah, I'm not bothered about it. I don't think it's going to be a massive issue, but certainly in the nicer weather, I'm going to revisit that, I think. But there you go, just so that if you do your reversing sensors, you can look out for that. Right, so hopefully that was a really quick video. As you're seeing this, the reason for me doing it on Christmas Eve is we will have gone away in the van on the 27th, as long as Boris the Clown doesn't lock us down. So I wanted it done before we went away over the winter, just in case it gets cold. However, it probably won't. It'll probably be 10 degrees and wet like every other Christmas. So anyway, as you see this, we'll have already been away all over Christmas and New Year. We've had Christmas Day and Boxing Day at home, and then we're away. You'll see this sometime in January. So catch you later. Bye bye.